Hi, this is Bill Major, and welcome to Shaman Time. I'm welcoming you back, another opportunity to sit back, relax, and just take a load off your mind. And I'm going to talk to you about celebrating. Celebrations are a wonderful thing. They're exciting, and they're meant to be that way. They take us away from the humdrum of our life, and they give us an opportunity to explore the ecstasy of just absolutely letting go of everything and only have to tend with what's going on right in front of us. Like being in the moment, right now. What are we doing that we can be celebrating? We don't have to wait for the seasons to change. There's all kinds of things that are isochronically drawn around the clock or on the calendar. But how about when we just sense within ourselves a plateau of success, call our own celebration to our own well-being and to what we're about? We could have finished a project or just a thought. Or we could just wake up with a feeling of, this is a great day. I want to celebrate this day. And we could go to the nearest window and look out, watch the sun come up, and be engaged in that wonderful ecstasy of life itself and the blooming of the day, daybreak, watching it come forward, a celebration into itself. Nature has celebrations also. A lot of times the celebrations come in the form of births, weddings, parties. Well, anyway, celebrating is a good thing. But how can we go about looking at the possibility of being able to get into the stream of celebration, not only for ourselves, but when a lot of people are celebrating, and for a lot of different reasons, but perhaps we can engage ourselves in the thought of becoming attuned to those around us that have the potentials of being celebratory of things that they like, celebrating what they are themselves. Perhaps we could take stock in putting together our own program locally in our church or a group or anything else. Maybe we're part of a meditation group or a Bible study group or something, and we could make our meetings more of a celebration of congregating and coming together and sharing in a spiritual half-life of being together and knowing each other just a little bit more deeply by bringing on the idea of celebrating. Make life a celebration. When you wake in the morning, lie there for just a moment, think of how blessed you are to have had such a restful night, and move forward and step into the day alive and lit up and ready to go. You say, well, how can you do that? I was just working so hard and I got to bed so late and I didn't sleep well and whatever. Well, ask yourself to have a celebration before you go to bed. Think about celebrating the next day. Think about how alive you're going to be when you wake up. That gives your brain a chance to work on it overnight. You'll be amazed at how it is that if you think about the supercharged day you're going to have tomorrow and about all the wonderful things that are going to happen because you're going to be celebrating the day itself for no other reason than the day just shows up and you're part of it. Hello, hallelujah, let's go. Let's go have a good time. Let's not be a bunch of stick in the muds that are all worried about, I could do that, but I got this problem or that. We all have problems. We can decide to work on the problem. And maybe we're working on a lot of them and we're not making much headway. Let's take a break. Let's have a party. Let's celebrate how we can't get anywhere. And while we're off celebrating not getting anywhere, we'd be surprised at how much those problems will change. And our view of what those problems are will not be the same. Especially after you're celebrating a bunch of friends, not to mention who all have free advice, which you could take in and listen. I know. You get what you pay for is the phrase. Like if you get something for free, well, it probably is not as good as it could be. Well, don't believe that. Those folks that are engaged with you or celebrating with you, they are carrying messages to answer questions that you've offered up to the universe, that you've put out there already, things that are on your mind. It is curious how they can say, oh, you're thinking about that? I was just thinking about that too. And the next thing you know, they're telling you all about the research they did, how much they understand about it, and other questions that came up. And it's just a wonderful way to get a shortcut to laying on a lot of information about something that maybe you haven't fully researched yourself. So why not party? Party hardy with people that are willing to share and maybe ask questions. So there's nothing like a person asking you a question to have you think about it, to attempt to answer it, to get you where you've collected your thoughts enough, which you couldn't do on your own, because you can't answer your own question, but you can answer somebody else's question. You ever notice that? Why does that happen? Why is it that when someone asks me a question, I can say, oh, well, I understand it's like this or that. It's this big, it's that tall. And they go, yeah, it is. And I look at it, and next thing you know, we're both nodding our heads, and we're in agreement that, yes, that's exactly what a loaf of bread looks like. Now, if I could just find one that's sliced and I can make a sandwich. Make a sandwich? What's that got to do with anything? Real easy. When you're having a party and you're celebrating, you have a little bit of food in there. Why do you want to bring food in? Because food invites more of our senses into the experience. It's great to talk and hear. It's great to be comfortable in a nice loungy atmosphere or laid back seminar arrangement and so forth where everything's taken care of for us. But you know what? If you got a little food and you're breaking bread with somebody, it's awful hard not to kind of like them and not kind of enjoy their company, because you're listening, you're talking, you're eating, your tummy's feeling good, your body's being nourished, and my God, it's just really nice to stand around and talk or sit and have a donut or a sandwich or something with people so that you're sharing nourishment. The nourishment not only in the food, the nourishment comes in our minds. Our bodies will be nourished, but our minds will be nourished also. It's kind of a sleight of hand trick. We feed the body so the mind knows it's being fed. Because sometimes when we're just getting brain fed, listening, reading, taking notes, just listening and reading and in lectures and stuff, if our bodies were being nourished at the same time, our brains are being nourished at the same time, and what we hear and participate in sticks with us a lot easier. Something about smelling food, tasting food, and eating that invites us to remember or recall the total experience of what was going on much more readily. So it also keeps you from being hungry and worrying about where you're going to get your next meal. Because if you're hungry, you get distracted. And if you don't have enough energy in you because you don't have enough food, then you get run down, your carbs go down, you're not able to focus. So guess what? Good old body chemistry says you ought to eat something. So let's celebrate, have a party, and get a whole lot smarter, a lot quicker, and remember a lot more with a lot less effort. I'm all for getting things done. After all, the goal in life is to be the lightest load possible on any and everybody around you. Small footprint, Don't be gobbling up all the air and don't eat up all the space. Just be the size you need to be and fit in. And let everybody else fit in too. Welcome those other folks into your world, and they'll welcome you into theirs. You'll be amazed at how much the life that you have is very similar to everyone else's. We all want to have an honest day of where we can go and do what we need to do in order to prosper and to be happy. And what more should we do? We should celebrate when we're happy and we're prosperous. If we're not prospering, we should go out and party with someone that is and let it rub off on us and understand why it is they're being so successful. It's not a super secret formula. It's paying attention to opportunity when it comes knocking. So there are a lot of things to be said about going to a party and celebrating. Celebration is not merely going to a place where you blow out candles on a birthday cake, or where you go out and you have a special rice dinner, or the meaning of what you're really taking in. The celebration is bringing your mind into a point of stasis where you are actually reveling in the fact that you are attuned to everything that's going on in your body. You can hear your mind as it's working its way. You can feel the blood coursing through your veins. You can hear the hot pulses of your heartbeat in your ears. Boom, boom. You can hear your own heartbeat. You're almost at the point of being meditative to a certain quality, but very conscious and very awake. So in order to celebrate, you really have to be tuned in, turned on, and really involved. And in a celebration of that time and sharing, I offer this to you. As the sun rises and we go forward, may we jointly embrace life itself in the light of the day as it comes up. Let us reach into those energies of love and light and come together in a total celebration of humanity itself. May we each find it a way to go and a path to follow. This is Shaman Time. Until next time, take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy. This is Shaman Time.